prep list and produce prep that's the recommendation because produce needs to be isolated from everything else.
Hey guys, Mr. Knife Fanatic here. Today I have the Masazumi 240mm Gyuto. This was brought in at the end of last year, and it's meant to compete very well with the Misono Swedish Carbon series, Fujiwara Carbon, and Matsumoto HC and CT series. So as usual, here's some specs and cutting performance. This is a Swedish carbon blade. It is not laminated in any way. It is one solid piece of steel. Carbon steel is reactive, so it will oxidize on you, but it's going to take a very refined edge, just like all Swedish steels, which are prized for their high purity. This is 61 to 62 Rockwell. Will take a very steep edge and also a very refined edge. It has a black packlewood handle, which is going to be very resistant to moisture. This is a resin impregnated wood and has some stainless bolts in there. It is a very tough handle. It's going to be great for professional use. The blade length is actually 250mm, which is a little bit longer than is advertised. Nothing wrong with that. You're getting a little bit more knife for your money, actually. We'll go ahead and put a ruler on it for you to see just exactly how long she is. If you can see there, we're starting at 0, and the tip ends right there at 250. The height is 47 to 48mm. That is a medium height for a knife of this length, which is going to be good for a lot of users. The weight is 204 grams. It is actually very light feeling in the hand. It is a blade heavy knife, which is good. It aids in cutting performance. You want the balance point to be a little bit blade heavy, as you can see here. The spine thickness is 2.25mm, which is actually very thin for a knife of this size. The grind has a right hand convex, which means basically only this side of the knife was ground. If you can look in the reflection of the light, you will see the grind start to roll from right underneath where the logo is, and it rolls into a nice convex and gets thin, as you can see there. Very nice grind on this knife. There is some distal taper. It does start to get very thin before it even gets to the curve. There's going to be a little bit of flex to this knife, not much. It is a fairly stiff knife. I am putting a lot of force on it there. You can get some flex out of it. And a little bit about the edge here. I did sharpen this myself. The out-of-the-box edge was the only thing I was not very impressed about. It was a maybe 22 to 25 degree edge, and it was very polished, so it had no bite. The way I sharpened it, as you can see here, this right-hand bevel is very big. I sharpened it at about 10 degrees on this side and about 15 degrees on this side. So we have a 25 degree inclusive edge at 4,000 grit. As you can see, it is a semi-mirror polish. It took the edge quite well, but it did take me about 45 minutes of grinding to get the knife thin. So that is a testament to wear resistance. This is a very wear resistant carbon steel so far, as I can tell. It should perform very well. So here we go, get some ingredients on the board and get to cutting. As you can see, 250mm of knife is plenty of knife to get over 2/2 of an onion. And you can see the gentle sweep throughout the whole blade. There is no true sweet spot on it. Very good rocking action. You can get up this high before it gets into the tip, which as you can see, that's a very tall height. So we'll go ahead and get on with the dice and see how she performs. With the right hand grind and right hand edge, this knife may pull to the left a little bit as you cut. That is a possibility. We're going to find out right now. Slides through. And it is pulling a little bit up on me because of the grind. It's really not that bad, to be honest with you. You can manage this in about 5 minutes of use. You'll get used to the knife. But so far, it flies through. The nice thin grind up here is performing very well. Very good. Very, very good. I can tell you the out-of-the-box edge is not going to perform anywhere near this. The edge I put on here is a very, very sharp edge. But if you're buying this knife as carbon steel, chances are you already sharpened the knife yourself, and you're going to love the sharpening properties of this. No true sweet spot, but I believe we have enough flat board contact that chopping should be no problem whatsoever. Just a touch of sticking on the back side of the knife, but that's because it is a flat grind on the back side and only convex on the front. Not so bad though, as you can see. We got through that with little effort. I am impressed so far. At the price point of this knife, It is a very good performer, very nice fit and finish. The Misono UX10 series, which is a very good knife, by the way, did suffer from a price increase last year, and as a result, we're looking for some good alternatives. And let me tell you, here's a great one. We just did a dice. Let's go ahead and try a little Julienne here, just to see how she chops. Like, very nice. I was about to say like butter. Very nice. Just a touch of sticking on the backside. Very manageable. If you do slices like most people do, you will experience no sticking whatsoever. As you can see, the knife slid right through with no trouble at all. I see this being used in a professional kitchen. Really, really good knife for a professional kitchen. For home use, this thing is actually light and wieldable enough, even though it is 250 millimeters. That's a lot of knife. As you can see, it's it's just really light in the hand. So I can actually see this possibly being used at home also. Home users tend not to go over 8 inches on most knives, or 210 millimeter. I recommend you get a 240. We can see in the camera there's a little bit of patina starting to form already, a little bit of bluing of the steel. That's because it is carbon. As we said, it is going to be reactive. No trouble though. That's what makes the knife look totally awesome. I'm telling you. Here we go, guys. A bell pepper. Get rid of that. I guess we'll try a roll cut. If a bell pepper is a little more round, I like to roll it. But if it has triangle sides such as this, I'll just tend to pop them off like that. But and we'll try a roll cut. Very thick bell pepper here. No problem. No seeds to worry about. Just give it a little slice there. And a very good thing about this right-hand grind and this right-hand edge, as you can see, it follows along ingredients such as this. And if you were maybe following the spine of fish, maybe this would be good for taking fish fillets off. Single bevels tend to take finer edges, or I shouldn't say this is quite a single bevel. This is a 80-20 sharpening job instead of a 50-50, and it will take a finer edge than a 50-50 bevel. It's just the geometry. If you draw it out on paper, you'll see what I'm talking about. But here we go, guys. No trouble there. Pinch grip. No trouble at all. And we'll do a couple draws through the tip. We haven't rocked with it yet. As you can see, it's biting into the board. Wow, incredible bite left to the edge, even after pounding on it like that. It's actually a little bit tough for me to use it on the board. It's biting into the board so much that a little bit harder to rock it, actually. That's only because it's too sharp. So, sometimes you have a problem of having an edge a little too sharp for the board you're working on. Simply go back, sharpen it, raise the angle a little bit, or raise the angle on that side a little bit, and it won't stick into the board. Of course, you won't have a scary sharp knife either after. But, hey, there you go. Let's try it out. Very thin, as you can see. I actually don't need to really hold the ingredients here. So, very nice, actually. Fairly thin behind the edge. This is kind of riding that line between laser and workhorse. It is a very thin knife. It is fairly thin behind the edge, although I've seen thinner. So, I have to say at the price point, the steel that you're getting, the fit and finish is very nice. No rough lines here. This is an excellent knife. Masazumi actually has me impressed. So, I hope to see more knives from this maker. And maybe you will too soon. So stay tuned and stay sharp.